Hello and welcome back. Been working kind of hard here, and I almost just went, but I kind of thought there may be some who had never actually seen this part of it. So um, I built the teleportation device. I built it out on the barge, so it would be away from pretty much everything else. Um, and we're about to talk to Sturgis and go inside the institute.
Everything looks good on my end. You ready to see if this thing actually works?
Yep.
Let's do this.
You sure? Okay. Your part is simple. Just step onto the platform. I'll start scanning for an Institute signal to lock onto. Then, I fire her up and we see what happens.
Sturgis is so nervous.
Whenever you're ready. Okay, hold real still. I don't want any corruption of the molecular beam. Oh yeah, by the way, I figured this was a golden opportunity to find out as much as we can about the Institute and what they're up to. Yeah, this holotape's all set with a program that will scan their network and download anything it finds. Uh-oh. Yeah, we better hurry. And don't worry about that tubing wiggling around. It's, just there for decoration. Okay. Scanning for the Institute signal. Tracking RF. And... got it. Hold on to your butt.
Network scanner right there. All right, let's do the network scan. All right, and there we go. So that's the first part.
Hello. I wondered if you might make it here. You're quite resourceful. I'm known as Father. The Institute is under my guidance. I know why you're here. I'd like to discuss things with you face to face. Please, step into the elevator.
Now, we're not sensing a trap at all.
I can only imagine what you've heard, what you think of us. I'd like to show you that you may have the wrong impression. Welcome to the Institute.
Oh, yeah.
This is the reality of the Institute. This place, these people, the work we do. For over 100 years, we've dedicated ourselves to humanity's survival. Decades of research, countless experiments and trials, a shared vision of how science can help shape the future. It has never been easy, and our actions are often misinterpreted by those above ground. Someday, perhaps, we can show them what we've accomplished. But for now, we must remain underground. There's too much at stake here to risk it all. As you've seen, things above are unstable. I'd like to talk to you about what we can do for everyone. But that can wait. You are here for a specific, very personal reason. You are here for your son.
Sean?
Huh? Yes, I'm Sean.
Sean? Is that really you?
Who are you?
Sean, it's me. I'm your mom.
Father, what's going on? What's happening?
Sean, are you okay? You're not hurt, are you?
What's going on? Father? Father!
Shh. It'll be okay, Sean. Mommy's here now.
I don't know you. Go away. Father! Father, help me! There's someone here. Help me!
Please, Sean. I'm your mother. Just talk to me. Just open the door.
Father? Father, help me! She's trying to take me! Father? Father, help me!
Sean. S923, recall code Cirrus. Fascinating, but disappointing. The child's responses were not at all what I anticipated. He's a prototype, you understand. We're only just now beginning to explore the effects of extreme emotional stimuli. Please try and keep an open mind. I recognize that you are emotional, and that your journey here has been fraught with challenges. Let's start anew. I am Father. Welcome to the Institute.
This is insane. All of it.
The degree of trauma you're experiencing right now is understandable. Please, just try to relax. I know this is all difficult to take in.
Just help me understand what's going on here.
I promised answers, and answers you shall have. But I need you to realize that this situation is far more complicated than you could have imagined. You have traveled very far, and suffered a great deal to find your son. Well, your tenacity and dedication have been rewarded. It's good to finally meet you, after all this time. It's me. I am Sean. I am your son.
How is that even possible?
I know this is a lot to take in. In the vault, you had no concept of the passage of time. You were released from your pod and went searching for the son you'd lost. But then you learned that your son was no longer an infant, but a 10-year-old boy. You believed that 10 years had passed. Is it really so hard to accept that it was not 10, but 60 years? That is the reality, and here I am, raised by the Institute, and now its leader.
But why? Why take a child? Why take you?
Ah, now that's the question, isn't it? Why me? At that time, the year 2227, the Institute had made great strides in synth production. But it was never enough. Scientific curiosity and the goal of perfection drove them ever onward. What they wanted was the perfect machine. So they followed the best example thus far. The human being. Walking, talking, fully articulate, capable of anything.
So the weird science experiments needed specimens. That's why they took you?
In a manner of speaking. Yes. The Institute endeavored to create synthetic organics. The most logical starting point, of course, was human DNA. Plenty of that was available, of course. But it had all become corrupted. In this wasteland, radiation affected everyone. Even in their attempts to shield themselves from the world above, members of the Institute had been exposed. Another source was necessary. But then the Institute found me after discovering records from Vault 111. An infant, frozen in time, protected from the radiation-induced mutations that had crept into every other human cell in the Commonwealth. I was exactly what they needed. And so it was my DNA that became the basis of the synthetic organics used to create every human-like synth you see today. I am their father. Through science, we are family. The synths, me, and you.
And you've been down here the whole time?
I have. Yes. I know you must have questions. Please. Anything I can do to help you understand.
Kellogg. He worked for you?
Kellogg. He was an Institute asset long before I arrived here. It wasn't until I became director that I learned of all the things he'd done. What kind of man he was.
You knew the man was a psychopath, but you used him anyway?
Would you have preferred that I turned him loose on the Commonwealth? At least keeping him on a short leash kept the collateral damage to a minimum. The Institute took advantage of Kellogg's vicious nature. I will freely admit that. Institute technology prolonged his life, and his usefulness far beyond any normal human lifespan. He never failed the Institute, but his cruelty became more apparent with every completed objective. I won't lie. It's no coincidence your path crossed his. It seemed a fitting way to allow you, us, to have some amount of revenge. What else can I say to ease your mind?
Your father. He never got to see you grow up.
Yes. What happened to him was... I've gone over the records of the incident, of course. It seems what happened to him was an unfortunate bit of collateral damage. For many years, I never questioned who my parents were. I accepted my situation, and that was that. With old age comes regret. And asking what if more often. But what matters now is that you and I have a chance to begin again. What else can I say to ease your mind?
All right, and any question that I ask, he's just gonna, he'll explain it and then say that. We pretty much just heard enough now. We know the basis of what happened.
Very well. The Institute is on the verge of some important breakthroughs. Your presence would be appreciated as we approach them. I've been a part of something amazing here. I've helped to build a life for myself and the people of the Institute. And now, after all these years, you have an opportunity to help with that. Doesn't that intrigue you? Isn't that what you want?
Oh, we're all in, dude.
Yes, that's what I want.
I know. I know you've been through so much. I'm pleased to see it has not impaired your judgment.
Oh, not at all. I'm gonna
Forgive me.
nuke everybody.
I'd assume that after everything I'm sure you've seen above ground, you would be more than a bit biased against us.
Nope.
There is much to be done. You'll need time to acclimate yourself, a chance to become acquainted with our procedures.
I'll do whatever it takes. It's worth it.
I am glad to hear that. The Institute is now your home, as much as it is mine. Please take some time, get to know it. Meet the people you'll be working with. You'll want to introduce yourself to the division heads. Dr. Fillmore in Facilities, Dr. Ayo in SRB, Dr. Holdren in Bioscience, and finally Dr. Lee in Advanced Systems. They've all been notified of your arrival, of course. Meet them, and then we'll discuss what comes next.
Okay. Now that we are finally here, I'm probably going to slow down the progress just a bit, and I want to get some quests. There's a few quests that you can get within the
Almost
Institute,
done. Just need to
and
tighten up
I've
this
never
primary
actually
drive
taken
servo.
down Justin Ao.
Primary drive breakdown
I don't like him, and I want to take him down in this one. I want him replaced. So I'm going to try to pick up those
I don't
quests.
know.
And
Most of them have lasted long past their projected lifespans.
I'm going to,
If you ask me,
do a few
they
things
were built
around
pretty
here.
well.
I can't argue with that. Even so,
I went to the airport, but
There we
the
go. All set. Unit,
let
you
me
can
let me
return
talk to
duty.
Dr. Fenmore.
Hey, Doc, thanks again.
Of course.
They weren't kidding. You really are here.
Yep,
Well,
right
all
here.
right. I'm Allie Fillmore. You can think of me as the Institute's chief engineer. When Father told us about you, I could hardly believe it. You've been through so much, I think most people would have just given up. If you don't mind my asking, what was it that kept you going all that time?
I'm a bad bitch.
I just wanted to find my son and keep him safe.
Now that you've found him, I hope you're proud of the great man he grew up to be. Now, I'll give you a quick rundown of the facility's vision, and then I'll
Excuse
answer
me.
any questions you might have afterward. As you might guess, we keep the Institute's mechanical and electrical systems running smoothly. We maintain and upgrade all of the systems that make it possible to live and work in a place like this. There's a lot of machinery behind these walls that recycles the air and water and provides power to the laboratories and quarters. The work we do might not be as exciting as some of the other departments, but it's at least as important. So, now that you're here and you've spoken to
Yep, I'm on board.
Oh, good to hear. It'll be a load off Sean's mind. Take your time. Get your... If there's anything else you'd like to know about the facilities...
Nope, I'm good for now. Thank you.
I'm good for now. Thanks.
Goodbye, then.
We're all looking forward to
Yep.
working with you.
Now, one thing about the Institute people is they're pretty aloof, and some of them actually look down their noses
Greetings.
at you.
As the Institute's requisition vendor, I can provide supplies for your missions on the surface.
Now,
How may I
this
assist
dude
you
has something
today?
very important.
I've got a few minutes to browse.
Let's go to weapons and experiment 18A. This is the plasma weapon, and it is mine. Nighthawk has served me well, but experiment 18A is the one. It's got a 25% faster fire rate, 15% faster reload. It's the fire rate that you're after. You want to get as much fire rate as you can, especially with a, I guess you'd call this a crit build, I guess. So yeah, this is the weapon that, no matter what, you want to get this weapon. Alright, so let's see. Got 81 of those. I'll take those. Oh, you 2,600. I may just bite that. I've got money, so, and I don't really have a lot to trade. At the moment, I don't have a lot to trade. I can get a lot to trade, but right now I just don't. Yeah, I'm just gonna buy it. Thank you very much. Okay. So now, basically, I'm just going to run around. I'm going to talk to all the directors. I'm going to work to get rid of Justin Ao, get that quest done. I'm going to start. Of course, the first quest you get is to go after the rogue synth and Libertalian. But I'm going to put that off for a little while. I'm going to do some other things, and then I will of course take care of that. We're gonna go with the Institute. I thought about it for a very long time, between episodes and between playing the game and all that. And this character was always basically meant to go with the Institute. Now the build hasn't really come out like I wanted it to because I was using Charles's overhaul and things are different. This was supposed to be like a science character, and it turned out to be um, a crit build, basically, a commando crit. Whereas she was supposed to be a heavy weapons crit, um, laser gatlings, power armor, all that good shit. But that's not the way it really turned out right now. I may do another one in the future that would be a science build completely and use power armor and all that. But for right now, I mean, once I took off Charles's mod, I could have done a respec. There is a way to go in and respec all your points and all that. But I mean, right now we've got full intelligence here, and I've got everything. But nerd rage. So I think I have 9 intelligence. But I mean, I got nuclear physicist, I got robotics, I got chemist, scrapper, science. I need one more in science, but I need to level up again. Yeah, I think we got what 3, 6, yeah, we got 9 intelligence. We don't have 10 yet. And I can get one more point in intelligence and then get the bobblehead and have 11 intelligence. But the luck is where we have all the crit stuff, pretty much. Now I've got some crit here in the sneak and sneak attacks and stuff in the commando, but a lot of the crits is critical banker, better criticals, Grim Reaper, all that. So we've got this, and honestly, the only thing that I would have to do to really make her into what I originally intended her to be is get heavy weapons over here. If I get heavy gunner and I get 5 points in the heavy gunner, then she's pretty much the build that I had in mind. But I would do stuff like heavy gunner and then strong back, and then maybe pain train, and that would give her the power armor and more carrying capacity, stuff like that. But for right now, I mean, I'm happy with the build as it was, because like I said, with Charles's overhaul, it made the builds just a little bit different. And then with the Soul Survivor military record, it made the build different also. So we are what we are right now. I'm not going to change it all. And in the future, in another Let's Play or something, I may rebuild a character that would be like that science character and do the heavy armor and all that good stuff. But for right now, we're going to keep this. And like I said, we're going to do stuff around the Institute here. And I'm going to do some quests on the outside. I'm not going to destroy everybody right now. I'm going to build up to that. But I want to get other stuff done. Because once we destroy everybody and Sean dies and all that stuff happens, I can't get rid of AO. I'm stuck with it. That's the big thing. I want to get rid of him. I want him gone. Gone, bye-bye. But anyway, for now, that's going to do for this one. I wanted to get into the Institute and show you guys. And yeah, we're home. So, I will catch you guys on the next one. I'm going to do some stuff. And I won't... anything that's very, very important or storyline that I do, I'll let you know. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.